Hello everyone and welcome to Mastery Quiz number 7, two-step linear inequality. So these are very similar to the two-step linear equations, but now we've included inequalities, and we must watch out for the danger of multiplying or dividing by a negative. If you ever multiply or divide by a negative, you need to reverse the inequality. That's a very important part about solving these linear inequalities. But otherwise, nothing changes from when we used to, or when that we've continued to solve linear equations. So looking at this first problem, what I need to do is I need to get this m all by itself. In order to get m all by itself, I've got to get rid of this minus 3 as well as this multiply by negative 2. So, first step, I need to add 3 to both sides of the inequality. So, the 2 minus 2m stays the same. The inequality stays the same because I did not multiply nor divide by a negative. I added by a positive, so don't have to worry about that. And minus 6 plus 3 becomes negative 3. Now, here's where alarm bells should go off in this next step, because we have to get rid of a multiply by negative 2, so we divide by negative 2. And as I said at the beginning of this video, if you ever multiply or divide by a negative, you must reverse the inequality. So this becomes m, and this inequality must now change from a greater than to a less than or equal to. Negative 3 divided by negative 2 just becomes 3 halves. The important part is this step right here, where we need to reverse that inequality as we come down. Reverse. Because of this, that divide by a negative. Let's graph this now on our number line. So I'm going to add some numbers. Please excuse this. I don't know how to get rid of that. So that's just going to be there, and that's fine. So negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I need to put a point at 3 halves. So that's the same as 1 and 1 half. 1 and 1 half. So I put a dot there. Now I need to decide if I should fill this in or not. Since it's equal to, I want to include this spot. So I do want to fill this in. Now, which direction should my arrow go? I want m to be less than this number. So I want numbers that are smaller. So they need to go in this direction. What's fantastic about this mastery quiz is we will always give it to you so that the letter is on the left-hand side. And since it's always going to be on the left-hand side, this arrow will always tell you which direction you need to shade. It's pointing to the left, so we need to shade to the left. It just so happens that's also where the smaller numbers are, which is what we wanted. Let's do another problem. In this next problem, again, we want to get v all by itself. So first I have to get rid of this addition. So subtract 7, because subtracting is the opposite of addition. We get v divided by 3 is less than 10 divided by 7 is 3. Now I got to get rid of this divide by 3. Don't think of it as a fraction. Think of it as v divided by 3. And when you think about it as divide by 3, you know you need to multiply by 3. And if I can pause for a second, I want to go back up here. When I subtracted that 7, I didn't need to reverse my inequality because I subtracted. It's when you divide by a negative that you need to reverse it. I subtracted, and even though it's got a minus, that does not mean we should reverse this. So we get, coming back to here, 3 times divided by 3 is just v. Less than. Let's get a line here to make it a little more clear. 3 times 3 is 9. Note that again, I did not reverse it because we're multiplying by a positive. If we're multiplying a positive, we do not need to reverse our inequality. Let's come down here and we're going to graph this thing. I'm going to skip some numbers. I'm going to start, well, let's say 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. So I need to make a point at 9, right at 9. Should I fill this one in? Why, I don't have an equal to, so I do not want to include 9. So I should not fill that in. I should leave it empty. Which way should I shade? Well, I need numbers to be less than 9, so that's over here. And again, since V's on the left, this thing's telling me which way to go. Shade this way. And there we are. We're done graphing. We've solved both of our equations. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help you. And keep practicing.